What's the trouble?
Fire danger. The whole area is closed for 24 hours. Where are you heading?
North.
Well, you might as well go home. We've got 2 or 3 big fires down north.
Whereabouts?
Around Sampson Lake and McKinley.
Oh, not my area. I want to meet an old friend. He's got a shack up in Spruce River. Gonna do a little fishing.
Well, you could ask at the ranger office at Indian River. Talk to Mr. Keeley, the chief ranger.
Thanks, I'll do that.
But don't expect anything. Conditions are pretty bad right now.
I can be quite persuasive.
With us?
How long are you going to be away?
2 or 3 days. We're going up to 3 Mile Lake.
Fishing?
Sure.
No wonder George has to keep on restocking these lakes. The way you boys clean them up. Is Pete going?
I guess so. But Pete's in a funny kind of mood these days. Just can't tell what he's going to do.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
XNY556A Apple. Hi, George. Sure, I'll be right over. Gee, sounds pretty bad. Yeah, I'll tell them. No dice, kids. Nobody's going.
Who's not going?
You're not, hearing too well, Chub? I said nobody's going.
Why not, for Pete's sake? If we want to go, we can.
Fire index is 16, if you know what that means.
Extreme fire danger.
We've been up in the bush before and things have been a bit dry.
Things aren't just a bit dry, Bud. Parts of the bush are just about ready to explode. Parts of it have. There are a couple of fires burning up around Sampson Lake, and a real big one over at McKinley. George has closed off the whole area. Nobody goes in without a permit.
We don't need a permit.
We never had to get one before. You just try going into the bush without permission when there's a forest closure on. You just try it.
You know my motto. Try anything.
I guess you've never seen George blow his top, or you wouldn't think it's so funny.
Didn't I tell you he was in a funny kind of mood?
You're darn right.
Still, if George says the area is closed, I guess that's it.
Yeah, but who does Pete think we are? That's only for tourists.
Sounded like everybody to me.
Oh, hi, George.
Pete, I need you. I want you to stick around the office and look after things for a while, okay? Look, I've got to go up to McKinley and the egg beater.
Things pretty bad?
Well, they're bad enough, but we'll survive.
Fever's airborne, George.
Okay, thanks a lot. You told the kids to stay out of the bush.
Sure did. They didn't like it, though.
Well, that's too bad. Dobby, I'll talk to you before I take off, okay?
Okay, George.
Oh, Mr. Keeley, I want to talk to you.
Can you make it brief?
Sure. Guy back there at the roadblock said I had to get permission to go into the bush. Heading for Spruce River.
I'm sorry, the area is closed for 24 hours, possibly longer.
That's a little inconvenient.
Forest fires are inclined to be inconvenient. I've got one going back there in the bush that's turning into what we call a conflagration, which is just as bad as it sounds and darned inconvenient.
But I appreciate your difficulties, Mr. Keeley, but I arranged to meet an older business associate, spend a few quiet days discussing business projects, and do a little fishing.
He's waiting in there for you now?
That's right.
Well, he shouldn't be, and I can't let you go through. Look, why don't you wait around for a day or two? I'll let you through as soon as I can.
Suppose I decide not to stay around. Chance it and go ahead. What's going to stop me?
Roadblocks and police. Now, you just take my advice and don't try it. Now, if you'll excuse me. Look, if that guy comes back, you turn Sergeant Scott loose on him, okay?
Sure, if you want me to. You don't like him too much, I guess.
Not particularly. I think he might take a lot of stopping. I'll be seeing you.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, that's quite a dog you got there. Does he like his meat in the dish or on the hoof?
I guess you're safe enough, sir.
Something we can do for you?
I'm looking for a guide, but I don't suppose you kids like going too far into the bush.
But you can't right now. It's closed.
Want to go anywhere in particular?
Spruce River.
There's an old fire trail. Goes along to it.
Well, I was going to go that way, but the road's closed. Only got a limited time for my vacation, and I hate to waste it.
That's too bad. Road could be closed for another 2-3 days, maybe longer.
Shouldn't be too difficult to get there through the bush. Doesn't seem too far. If I could just find me a guide in a canoe.
It wouldn't help any. The whole area's closed.
Seems to me the spirit of adventure's pretty dead in Indian River. I'd pay $25 a day.
25 bucks. That's a lot of dough.
You kids happen to know of anybody?
We could do it.
You can't, Chuck. You know what Pete said.
Pete's not the boss. Nobody's the boss. We can if we want.
25 bucks a day.
Okay, sir. You've got a deal.
Fine, I'll go pick up my gear.
Mike, I just don't like it.
We'll be all right, kid. Fires are up around Sampson Lake and McKinley, miles away.
Come on, let's go get the canoes ready.
Smoke! Hey, Chub, can you smell it?
Yeah, I bet.
I'll go up there and look.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Gabby. They've sent those truckloads up there.
Pete,
Something wrong?
Mike and Chubb, they've gone into the bush.
What do you mean, gone into the bush?
A man came to the fort and said he had to get up to Spruce River. Wanted them to take him. I tried to stop them, but I guess they felt a bit sore with you.
That's great. Just great. I bet it's the same guy.
What guy?
A man came in here earlier today and asked George to let him through. George said no, and when he says no, he means it. Mike and Chubb are gonna get skinned alive for this.
Maybe I better go after them, huh?
If you can't, you're on standby.
What time they leave with this guy?
Around 3.
Well, you don't have to worry about them, Joe. They can take care of themselves. It's just going off like this, you know, without...
A little way down from Spruce River, there's a place where we camp a couple of times for fishing. I bet that's where they may camp tonight. Right there.
We'll have some food, and then go on up the river about 10 miles and camp for the night.
Suits me, son.
Hey, Chubb! Big smoke back there. It's a lot nearer than Sampson Lake or McKinley.
Must be a new one.
Must be. You know what I think? We ought to pull back.
Scared?
We're not scared. We just know what it's like. Fire in the bush.
Guess I should have had more sense. Trusting a couple of kids.
It's just that we didn't realize things were quite so bad. That smoke's pretty close.
Okay. You better beat it. But I'm not turning back after coming all this way.
But we can't leave you here.
Don't worry about me, kid. I'll make it.
Guess we might as well go on.
Yeah, looks like it.
50 bucks is 50 bucks. coffee's ready. Want to tell Mr. Ward?
Sure.
Hello? Yes. Hello?
Listen,
Yes, I can hear you now.
talking to himself.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we got your message. So I'm coming upriver by canoe.
Radio.
Be with you tomorrow mid-afternoon. Guide? No, just a couple of kids. Well, what do you suppose we do with them? When we're finished with them, we get rid of them. One way or another.
Better wet it a bit more. That should do it.
What's the big idea, kid? Blazing a trail?
Who, me?
That stick.
That. That's a tea stick. The old-timers used to do this. It's a good idea. You take a dry stick and stand it in the middle of the fire, just to prove that you put it out before you moved on.
You kids sure know your stuff. Now, come on, let's go. Down to the canoe.
We'll be with you in a moment. I don't like it. Why are we still going on, after what he said on that radio last night?
We had all this out, Chub.
I know, but
I don't like it either. But we've got to go. Keep tabs on him. We've got to find out what he's doing.
or beat it back to Indian River and tell George.
Scared?
You know it.
So am I. But that's why we took it in turns to stay awake and keep watch, isn't it? But if we go back now, we'll lose him. And he just gave me an idea.
Where's the other kid?
On his way. Mind if I move this?
Huh? No.
Holy cow, what have you got in here? The time.
Just a few cans of food. Now be careful with that. Don't drop it.
You don't want to knock out the bottom of the boat?
All set?
Let's go. We're wasting time.
Indian River to Pike Tower. Go ahead. Pete, Joe Two Rivers.
Joe at Pike Tower? Hi, Joe, what are you doing there? Trouble? What kind of trouble? I'll talk to the sergeant, see what he can do. Are you going after them? Fine. Over and out. It's Chubb and Mike.
They having difficulty with that guy?
That's right. Joe doesn't know what, but he's found a sign he taught us to use, which means follow up fast. And that's just what he's doing.
I've been wondering what made that guy so desperate to get there in such a hurry. I'd like to know the answer.
Something wrong?
Oh, no, no.
follow, okay?
Sure.
The shack's just a little way up in the bush.
We'll find it.
Ward?
That's right.
I'm glad to meet you. I've heard about you, of course, but I didn't think even you could get through. I've been listening on the radio. The whole area seems to be closed.
It is.
Well, can we get out of this?
I've got a canoe back there and a car down at Indian River.
And a couple of kids.
Oh, we'll fix them. Hey, you look rough. What happened?
Oh, I was all right till I lost my canoe in the rapids about 10 miles upriver. I think I've broken a bone in my ankle. So I had to call you for help. I couldn't make it any further.
Well, how about the film?
Oh, I saved that and the radio. Lost everything else.
You gotta give it to me.
Well, don't open it. It's microfilm. It hasn't been processed yet.
Ah, this is good. You've done well. Our people will be grateful.
If we can get out of the country.
Don't worry. It's all arranged. Nothing can stop us.
What about the kids? I don't like violence.
Well, I don't like it either, except when it's necessary. Then I like it a lot. Now, is there some place that we can...
The cellar.
Good. Ah, no way out of that. It'll be a long time before they're found. We'll be in another country. Can you make it back to the canoe?
I guess so. It may take me a few minutes. Can you handle those two kids?
I can be quite persuasive. And I have a little friend here. Wonder what's keeping those kids.
Suppose they do get out of that cellar. Suppose somebody should happen to come along.
Then it'll be too late. Smell anything?
Smoke.
Fire's getting quite close and the wind's blowing it this way. Pretty soon there won't be anything for anybody to find. Now listen, you better get moving. You tell those kids that I'm waiting here for them with their money.
Go ahead, Mike.
You first.
Why me?
You were the one who wanted the money.
Yeah, but after what he said on that radio last night.
I don't like it much either.
Well, we can't turn back now. Come on.
Okay, let's go.
All fixed, no trouble. They can't get out of there.
Oh, fine. I can't go much further. Where's this darned canoe of yours?
It's right. Well, it was right there, tied to a stake.
Well, it isn't there now.
I can see that. I've got eyes, haven't I?
Only two. I guess you need more with smart kids like that. If it was the kids.
Well, we'll find that out pretty quickly. I'll go back there now and beat it out of them.
English.
Come on, let me out of this. What are you doing? Come here. Let me come back here.
Hey, how you get here?
By car along the fire trail.
Hey, you know what? You get some darn funny things in bear traps. You like to go see what I just found?
Yeah, you bet.
Where Chub and Mike?
I think they're okay. We go get them out, huh?
I ought to skin you two alive.
Sure, George.
But I can't.
That's too bad, George.
You bet it's too bad. You know why I can't?
No, George.
Because you're probably going to turn into sweet little national heroes.
Heroes? Them?
That's right, them. They just helped to catch a couple of spies. Your friend Ward was sent in to get the other guy out of the country, and the other guy had taken some very pretty pictures of some top-secret Jew-line stuff.
How'd he manage that?
Nobody knows. The security people are having themselves a ball trying to figure it out. But when they do, they'll probably come and pin medals on these heroic chests.
For Pete's sake.
And there's nothing I can do to stop it.
Well, why would you want to stop it?
Because they should have learned sense by now. Look, you call yourselves ranger kids, but you made just about the worst mistake in the book. If you want to go into the bush and get yourselves fried to a crisp, okay, go right ahead and do it. You've seen lots of forest fires, but don't take other people with you.
It was only because...
It was only because you were being too darn smart. Tell me one thing. What's Joe Two Rivers' life worth to you? $50?
Maybe next time you better just let him skin you alive, huh?